Armoured cars and half-tracks featured heavily for German forces during the Second World War. These vehicles were much easier and quicker to manufacture than tanks, and resulted in thousands being produced. They performed their designated roles very well, and kept their crews safe from small arms fire. But with so many variants of each type of vehicle, surely there was a simple solution. Why not just have a combined armoured car and half-track? Meet the Sd Kfz 254. This interesting looking vehicle has the ability to use both tracks and wheels independently. So why isn't it more well known? In today's video, we look at perhaps the strangest armoured car of World War II. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, hit that subscribe button. It's free and really helps the channel reach more history lovers like you. The 254 German armoured car owes its origins to its Austrian neighbours, who developed the original design under the Saurer Manufacturing Company. First created as an unarmoured artillery tractor, it was later upgraded in 1937 to a wheel-cum-track armoured vehicle, designated the RR7. After a short run of vehicles, Austria found itself annexed by Germany, and production for the RR7 ceased. However, the Wehrmacht found a use for this type of vehicle in a scout role, and under its new designation, the Sd Kfz 254. The hull of the car was only 4.5 metres or 14 feet in length, and 1.8 metres or 6 feet in height. Unlike a half-track, the hull was fully enclosed, with two round hatches at the front and rear to allow the soldiers within to stand up to their waist. Small observation slits were dotted around the vehicle, but overall it lacked good visibility. The frontal armour was sloped, but only 15mm thick, and the side and rear even thinner at 6mm, albeit these plates were enough to protect the occupants from small arms fire and shrapnel. Its armament consisted of a single MG34 for defence, but some experimentation also took place, with a version featuring a Panzer I turret with dual machine guns. A crew of up to 7 was possible, with multiple observers and radio operators. However, typically 4 or 5 was standard. But the most striking feature of the car is obviously its tracks and wheels. The original concept called for both types on the vehicle, as the thinking was the wheels were to be used for driving on highways and other paved roadways, and the track system could be used off-road and on difficult terrain. The wheel drivetrain featured 4 road wheels, with a foldable 2-stage suspension system, acting as folding arms. The suspension allowed the road wheels to be forced down and maintained in place while allowing movement, and then folded up by depressing the suspension system. The narrow track system was linked to a rear idler and 6 single wheels suspended by horizontal coil springs and supported by 3 return rollers. Changing between the two driving styles was relatively easy, with the driver selecting the preference and pushing a shifter into place. The change would then take about 30 seconds between wheels and tracks, or vice versa. Performance-wise, the car could generally get about 500 kilometers or 310 miles on the wheels, and 300 kilometers or 180 miles on the tracks. The use of a diesel engine over a petrol one also allowed for greater distance. Speed wasn't its greatest asset though, topping out at 60 kilometers or 37 miles an hour. The 254 would see combat service within the Balkans, North Africa, and the Eastern Front. They mostly featured in the scout car role, but also performed duties with mobile artillery regiments. However, the majority of vehicles deployed into North Africa were knocked out of the war fairly early. On the Eastern Front, they fared slightly better, and likely due to their durability over difficult terrain. Some managed to survive the war, despite there only being about 150 produced. But the track and wheel concept didn't take off, as the 254 was no more of a standout than its half-track cousin, the 251. Still though, an interesting example of military innovation. Have you ever heard of the 254 before this video? What did you think? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to expand your knowledge and join the growing Premier History community.